I went through a period of having really bad stage fright, like just awful, awful stage fright, which has never happened to me before. I've always been a big ham and never been very shy. And I got into like my late teens, and I couldn't let anybody hear me sing. I didn't ever want to hear people, I didn't want people to hear me play guitar. And I realized that if I wanted to be a musician, that had to obviously change. So I just went out and started playing open mics. And the first one I did, I didn't tell anybody I was gonna do it because I didn't want any of my friends there. And I went by myself, and I got up on stage and was shaking, like physically shaking. But yeah, that was kind of the breaking point where I just realized that if I ever wanted to be a musician, I had to just start performing.
Brittany,
hey, how's it going?
Good to see you, hon.
Oh, I know.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm great. Wonderful. So you have a show coming up.
Yeah, tonight.
Awesome. So let's get you all warmed up and ready for it. Do you have any concerns or any questions you want to address right off the bat?
No, I just want to be strong vocally. I just want to be prepared for all the stuff. I think some of my songs are feeling a lot more comfortable.
Okay.
But I just want to be really strong.
Really strong. All right. So let's do some warm-ups over those bridges.
Okay.
All right. First, let's start with.
Whenever I end up in a hard part of my life is when I try to kick myself into a higher gear. When I get to a point where I feel like I'm stagnating, I really try to examine and figure out what's wrong. I was doing running start, so I was in college, but I was still 17 years old, and I didn't have a lot of friends. I was by myself a lot of the time, and was kind of separated from the music community that I grew up hanging out with, and I just didn't want my life to be that way. And then I realized that for me, writing music is very therapeutic. Like that's how I kind of work things out. And as soon as I started writing, like everything just kind of came out and it just started working itself out. And I just got in this place where I was so inspired by the people around me, by having amazing family and friends, and by the music I was hearing, like this really kind of bluesy rock music that I had started listening to, took me in a different direction than I've ever gone in before. And I just started writing constantly. And it just, for the first time, I've felt like really, really inspired by the music I was writing and like truly excited, and my own songs are getting stuck in my head and I'm excited for other people to hear them. So that kind of, and it's a good life lesson for me because sometimes you have to take control of your own life in order to steer your art in the direction it needs to go in.
Good, shake it out. Release your tension in your neck, get it warmed up. All right, good. Let's do a little.
I sought out training because I was performing and I was gaining momentum, but I still wasn't completely satisfied with the stuff I was writing and also the quality of my performances. It was the first time I had ever taken lessons for anything like that because I've always been very big on doing it yourself and I don't need anybody else to help me, but honestly, it's just the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about your voice, the better it sounds. We always kind of joke that she's my vocal teacher and also like therapist / career coach because she's just helped me a lot with that aspect of it, with dealing with the emotional aspect of putting yourself out there and performing every weekend, sometimes to not very receptive crowds and sometimes to really great crowds.
For New York.
Yeah.
We are working on your folder.
Yeah.
To get you ready for your auditions and stuff. Do you have any questions about those songs? Anything?
Well, no,
that you are
right now
about?
it's just really hard, because you always think that you have enough in your book, and then I feel like every time I get an audition, I have to get another song because I'm like, oh, I don't have a song that's perfect for that. So right now I'm just trying to make sure I have something that fits any situation because they come up so last minute that I don't have.
Okay.
But
I kind of feel like you do. You have so many songs that we've really worked that I feel like I will be very sad to see you go, but I'll be really excited to watch your success.
You have to start off pretty small. And so I did a tour last summer and that went okay. It was it was really hard. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. You just have to build on that. What I'm trying to do now is I'm setting up a tour for this fall, another West Coast tour, and now it just automatically becomes a little bit easier. You have contacts in certain cities and you know who not to call in other cities, and the goal always is just to build on what you've already done. Because I'm planning on doing another small tour before I leave. And now it's just going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
Because I already know which venues were good and which ones weren't, and I have contacts in those cities. And the first one I think is hopefully going to be the hardest one, and then everything else from there will be
Definitely.
easier.
Definitely.
But we'll see. And then after my fall tour, my goal is to fly to the East Coast and spend some time playing shows in New York and Massachusetts, and just playing like the different, playing in Brooklyn and Queens and New York and in Manhattan, and then taking the train down to Boston and playing there because I know people there. And that's kind of what it comes down to as far as touring. You really just have to start with the basics and start with your farthest away show and plan that and get that booked, and then plan everything else around that. A job as a banker, it don't leave time for rallies and protests and leading the blind. A job as a banker, it don't leave time for me. So when you call me on the phone, don't waste my time reminiscing about the past when we towed the line. When you call me on the phone, don't waste my time singing. Oh, once we were young and fearless and careless and just so dumb. Oh, once we were young and stupid. I wouldn't say that I'm attempting for a specific emotion or a specific response. It's more, I am just constantly writing, and the events that are happening in my life always influence the direction I go in. You just have to surround yourself by a lot of amazing people and have faith and a lot of work ethic.
Why don't you run the chorus for me right now on Macaroni Girl?
Okay.
And we'll see if there's any tweaking that needs to happen, and then we'll pull out your guitar.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay? So let's just run it a cappella real quick.
Okay. You're the vegan cheese to my macaroni noodle, the coolest kitten in this whole caboodle. Been waiting for life, but life seems to follow you around. You're the only sense in this life without a reason. The way you talk and sing could change seasons, and when you start to smile, I can never be down. 'Cause you're the only thing in this world that makes me feel like I might make it. And you're the only one in this world that makes me feel like I could face it. Oh, you're the vegan cheese, my macaroni noodle, the coolest kid in this whole caboodle. Been waiting for life, but life seems to follow you around. You're the only sense in this life without a reason. The way you talk and sing can change seasons, and when you start to smile, I can never be down. Whoa, sometimes life, it seems so hard, but I know you're always here. Oh, sometimes Boston seems so far away, but I know you'll always call. You're the vegan cheese to my macaroni noodle, the coolest kid in this whole caboodle.